Okay, back with another stream on the working on the RedBlackBioStar. That's what I call that thing. It's so I've got the let's see, I'm trying to figure out. Oh yeah, okay. Here we go. So I've got the computer up on the bench over here, and that's the yellow AGP connector. That's where that video card goes. So there's the overview of the machine there, the video card ready to put back in. Got it all set up, and let's just get to work on it. Let's see. Yeah, that's how I want it. So let me switch to my wireless mic so I can go over there. Okay. And I should be able to still have audio. I'd see my preview, but I haven't listened to the audio on it. Let's see. Make sure all that's good. Now I think I'll leave the audio. Oh yeah, let's do that. I'll let the audio play, and then I can mute it. And if I need to hear it again, there we go. Yeah, I can mute it, and if I need to hear it again, then I can turn my laptop. You can kind of see it there out of the corner of the picture. Turn it. Okay. So that I can see it from over here, and I can know that I'm still live and everything. Because this is a BioStar motherboard. That's why I call it the BioStar. It's black case with red lights and blue lights too. But I didn't want to make the name. I didn't want to make it the red, black, and blue. Red, black, and blue. So I just call it the RedBlackBioStar. I could have called it the red, black, and blue, and I was tempted. Okay, so. But I thought, you know, that'd just make me feel better every time I thought of the name I made up for it. So, by the way, I've talked about this. I don't know if I ever showed it. I guess I did once, but this power supply is actually a Dell power supply that my neighbor gave me. Works great, been in there for years. I think it's a 475 watt. The sticker's on the other side. It is actually, this particular Dell, I've noticed that all the Dell desktops I've ever had, there's always something really different about them. They don't make them like everybody else makes their computers, you know. So their power supply is probably a half of an inch deeper from the top of the machine to the bottom of the power supply, so it won't go in a standard power supply hole there. And since I have this big 120 millimeter fan, I couldn't just bend that. There's a metal tab there. I could have bent over there and made it work, but I like that fan. It works really well, and I didn't want to take it out. That's what came with the case. And well, one of these 120 millimeter fans, I had two of these cases, and one of them did go out, and I had to replace it with something. And I was just thinking today, I thought, I should see what, that's been a good fan, I should see what brand it is. I saw 4 of them for $15 on Amazon yesterday, and I thought, you know what, having all my trouble trying to find a 70 millimeter fan, I think this one's an 80 millimeter here, but 70 millimeter CPU fan, that's 3-pin and quiet. I haven't been able to find one at a decent price. Basically, you end up spending about $10 to $15 on one, just the fan. Well, maybe a fan $10, $8 to $10, and then the thing is, if you get a $6 one, it's probably going to be like 28 to 30 dB, and that's just too dang loud. I want no more than 22 dB, really. So anyway, I remembered that one thing about these is, see, they don't have to spin as fast. They're bigger and they move more air. These 120 millimeter fans, you can't see it, can you? Well, you can see where my finger is, yeah, barely. They move a lot of air without having to go so fast, so they're not as loud. And the ones they have on sale there, or no, not on sale, but just some that somebody's selling, and they have good reviews. They should do well if they'll fit in these boxes. I haven't opened one up yet, like my IBM. I could put one in my IBM server, one in the Net Pro Max. It's over there right now. In the place where the IBM server is, it's too loud. Oh, well, I could put one in there. It's too loud to run in the house. I like the machine, but it's too loud. And then the gateway, I think it is. I've got two brand new 70mm fans that are actually 4 pins. So, and the gateway, when it runs at full speed, just like I read that they usually do, and the IBM, it actually can control its speed, whatever. However, or it may be the fan, not the machine. The way they're made, I think a PWM fan, the fans that have PWM control in them, I think those are the ones that can be controlled with 3 or 4 pins, I think. Anyway, if that case, those older cases may not have enough vents. What I think is there may not be any holes pre-drilled, and the vent is not big enough in the back of the case. But of course, you could just drill some more holes, and don't worry about. I probably wouldn't move enough air. If it doesn't have holes in it, if the case is not vented, then I probably wouldn't do it. But if it is, and all I have to do is drill some more holes, I'll do that. I'm going to have to look at those, because I'm starting to think that I can just flat eliminate that GPU fan, use a huge 120mm fan in the back of the case, and I actually have one tunnel to go down to the CPU. I could put that in the IBM, and the other one I could just try without it and see if it does okay. Because the IBM runs all the time. That's the one I'm worried about. It's my server. But anyway, back to this. I've gotten more of a sidetrack than I meant to. But yeah, this one has 4 hard drives. And with this, I'm pretty sure that's an 80mm. I don't know what 80mm is in inches, so I started to grab my ruler. I can tell you what the inches are. It's about 3,200. So it's can't see it. Put my fingernail on there and put it up in front of that. What do we got there? 3,150. 3 inches, 150 thousandths. So whatever that is in millimeters. I've looked them up over and over, but I can't ever remember that sort of thing. Numbers. I don't do well with numbers. So anyway, this thing. Yeah, 4 hard drives and a DVD drive. And that's the only other drive in it. And this big space where is open, where the CPU, where the power supply usually goes, so it really flows air well. It lets all that heat just roll out of the back of it. I think that makes a big difference. But I got this all fixed up. Look at my previous videos. You can see the fan had started making horrible noise. It was still spinning fine, but it was making a lot of bad noises. I thought it was the CPU fan. It turned out for years it's been like that, and I just never fixed it because I didn't run the machine much anymore. And I finally decided to do something about it. Turned out it was this, and it got into a can of worms. This is a brand new fan though. I had 3 of them. I put one of my mom's on her. And I think hers is an NVIDIA card, and this one is actually an ATI. I kept thinking it was an NVIDIA. This one had a snap-in fan that had a shroud around it. It was a completely different design than what you generally see, or what I generally see. But I decided to go ahead and just drill this heat sink, put machine screws and nuts, and I put that cardboard on there to make sure those nuts can't touch. There's an extra PCB board that the GPU is mounted on in there. So I decided to put that in there to make sure my little nuts on the other side, and those are Loctite on. I didn't want them vibrating loose because I had to grind them down to 25 thousandths. That's how thin they are now. I think you can kind of see one there. Right there under my thumbnail, but just beyond my thumbnail. Anyway, that keeps them from being able to touch and short anything out. So I'm going to put it back in there. This is an AGP video card, so you may not have seen one if you're younger, or you just never worked on any older machines. They're older now. They still don't seem that old to me, but anyway, they have a clip on them to hold them in. When you're taking them out, it's when you got to pay attention, because you got to push that down. When you put them in, they just automatically close. But and then I have I think one of those is a. Now there might be just standard PCIs, but I've got a modem in there and a video card for. I don't know where here it is. This actually came in that Net Pro Max I was just talking about. It's a VGA input from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 BNC, be like a boy. Therefore, it was a first. That Net Pro Max was set up to be a video surveillance rig, and that's what it had in it. It actually has a Zeus motherboard, I think, in it, but it's this is a dual core Intel with what have I got? 3 gig of RAM in it, I think. That other one over there is a single core Celeron, about 2.8 gigahertz, I think. This is only 1.8 gigahertz, and and this is DVI-D. There's a difference. There's DVI-D and DVI-H or something. I can't remember. In S-Video, at the time that was, well, at the time that was a little old, but it was pretty common to have them still have an S-Video and a VGA output. So I used the DVI on it, on this. My Kvm switch doesn't have a DVI though, so it has to go straight to the monitor. But I have one cable that's going bad or gone bad, and so I have one of my VGA cables is for my Kvm switch doesn't work, so it works out quite well to use the DVI on this. But that Net Pro Max has a DVI on it too, but it's using VGA right now, and it'll probably just go back out in the garage. I don't know. But let's get this in here. I always start telling too many details about other things. Let's see. Kids kind of have to, there we go, kind of have to feel its way in there. And I don't know if you can see, but that, well, it didn't completely clip, but so I'm pulling it up. See, and it won't come out until you push that clip down next time when you want to get it out. I did not remember that it was right up against those clips for the memory. You can't get the memory out of there. Oh. I don't know if you could see that in the video. I can't see it in my preview. Can't see it. I couldn't see it because I wasn't looking right. I shoved it down beside the darn connector. I can't see nothing anymore. Okay, now I think that's it. There we go. That feels, I thought it felt weird. Okay, now, yeah. And the where the screw to hold it in, hold it tight, it was not lined up, but I was saying, well, you can push it in. But there, now it's in there, and it's locked in. Yeah, and I'm I think I'm going to be glad that I went ahead and put a new fan in here, because I was thinking about putting a thicker GPU, I mean a heatsink that I had on there, but it would have been like less than 1/8 of an inch for this other card. And if you tried some other card, there might be some components on it that would touch it and short out, you know. So I thought, well, I don't want to be stuck not being able to use it. There's only 2 PCI slots in there, and I don't want to be stuck not being able to use them, you know, in a normal way. So I did this, and hopefully it'll work and keep it cool and everything like it should. And get my screwdriver out of here. Oh yeah, you gotta always pay attention when you screw these things in, that you'll be able to plug things into them, you know. So you don't just put them in there and screw them down. Put them in there and line them up and screw them down. Yeah. I think this one's gonna be pretty easy. Some of them are really, you gotta really, when you tighten the screw, it makes it move and doesn't want to work. I don't know, I might have got it a little off. Let's see. The VGAs on some of the, yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah, S-Video's good, DVI looks good. Yeah, some of these, especially video cards with 3 connectors on them. It's one reason why it's really good to have the screw to hold them in place, because you can't plug things in if they're moved over, you know. And so yeah, I still cannot remember what you call those cameras. They used to call them closed circuit TV cameras. the ones that used BNC connections, but there's a particular name for that particular type. They're not, they're not just a regular webcam. They're webcams. They were made for USB connections. These, you have to have that video card. The one I was just talking about a minute ago, not the one I just installed, but the one that's just in there. This one over here. You plug this. It's kind of backwards of a monitor. This is actually no, that's the same, isn't it? Yeah. No, the monitor, normally your monitor output has this connector, right? Well, this is this connector going into a male version on the card to all these BNCs, but I've never had one. I don't have any of those cameras. And I think I could get some, you can buy BNC to RF adapters, and I think that it would pick up just a regular RF signal from a VCR or something like that. And I've got to, actually, I have a DVD tuner, HD digital tuner with a digital TV tuner. It's a DVD. Well, the DVD doesn't work anymore, but the TV tuner still does. I have that with an S-video inputs and outputs. I have a VCR. That's an Super VHS, and I have a couple of older ones in the garage. So they could be used on those if I'd get some adapters, I think. And the reason I would like that is because, well, I have a TV card in another machine that will take composite, not component video, but composite. Component is RGB, red, green, and blue. Composite is just a single RCA connector. Anyway, it'll take a composite, which is not as high of quality as of RGB or component video. And I was just reading something the other day saying composite was higher quality than S-video, but I'm sure it's not, because I've tried it in real life. You can see a marked difference if I hook up to the composite, output of my VCR than if you use the S-video, or the other way around, coming from the computer to the. What I do is, like I have a laptop that has a S-video, it has a HDMI on the other laptop. It has HDMI and S-video, and this one that I'm using to monitor this has an S-video. What I do, I have a cable running around to my VCR at the TV over there, and I used to watch TV off the watch not TV but web video on the TV all the time that way. But now I don't see it as well as I used to, and of course it's a lot smaller on an older CRT TV. So now I just sit at the computer and watch stuff. So anyway, that's hooked up. Don't have power or anything else over here right now. Let's see, but I can hook up. Let me just turn on cams 1 and 2. You see, looks great, beautiful, pretty. Okay, so let me grab the cables. Yeah, I've got power down here I can get out. So I'm going to turn it on right there. I was thinking, originally I was just thinking, plug it up and then put it in its place. But no, you need to make sure you've succeeded. You need to test it before you get it all put in its place. Make sure it's not making noise or something is not working properly. But actually I remember now, have a drink. My cable that goes to it that it will reach. Let's put this over here. It'll reach over there, I believe. The DVI cable. And I think that the USB portion of my Kvm Switch cable will reach over there too. Yeah, this is plenty long to reach. It's plugged into my VGA. No, I mean my monitor. This is plugged into my monitor. So this is a DVI-D. Oh, I don't have it. Well, you've probably seen them. They look so similar to DVI-D and I think H it is, that you really have to. You can't just look at. I can't just look at them and remember one's one and one's the other. Okay, let me get this plugged in. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to get to where I could get my magnifying glass so I could see which way to turn that thing to plug it in. There we go. Got that plugged in. Now, this cable I did this before, I think, so I should be good. I won't have internet, but that's okay. I just saw the Ethernet cable that belongs to it. All I want to do is just hook up the USB. This is the bad. It's either this. It's probably this end. The wires have, some of the wires are broken inside of the cable. I always intend to fix it, but I never have. I'd have to buy another VGA connector. I don't think I could take that apart and redo it. But anyway, I have some connectors, but I've got all kinds of connectors, 9-pin and all kinds of stuff. But I don't have VGA. So anyway, yeah, the USB reaches just fine. So now I can just switch my KVM switch over. It's kind of funny. You got to reach, when this is put together, you got to reach in and plug that in by feel. But you can see it when it's apart. But it's not hard, really that hard to do. Okay, so we'll leave our camera like that. And let's see. I think I'll go back to endoscope and cam 1, right? Yeah. So we can see where I'm going to be checking for noise right there at that video card. Look over the wiring one more time. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Cam 2. There. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's check our... Yeah, there we go. Everything's still working on my stream. Make sure I don't have anything loose or messed up here. This thing's been messed with a lot. All looks good. Yeah, one of these, this hard drive on the top is the IDE, and the rest, all other three are SATAs. And it's actually in the secondary IDE channel. Oh, well, actually, there's only one IDE channel on this, and so it's in it. And so I don't know if it's secondary or primary IDE. There's only one, and the just didn't realize that's only screwed on one side because that's really a DVD or CD and DVD rack, you know. And the DVD drive is SATA as well. So okay, that's all good. I'm not going to worry about Ethernet on that. I just want to see if it's going to work without making noise. But I can look at it. I won't have to just. I can put the machine on that and watch it. You know, be able to see it booting up. Which one is that? I think I had it on. Accidentally hit the right one and then moved it. Okay, so. My KVM switch is sliding around. It usually has kind of stuff to help it stay in place. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on. Let's see. Power? Yeah. Oh yeah, this, I was going to say, I hit the wrong button. I hit the reset button. Yeah, this power supply doesn't have a switch on it. Okay, so there we go. Let's see how it does. It should be pretty normal. Should be running good, and it should be... I don't see the video yet. Oh, yeah, you got to switch to the DVI input. Well, let's don't worry about that right now. Let's worry about listening. Yeah. That's not very loud at all. The whole thing. So let me get my mic and stick it down there. Now here's the fan that I just installed. You can hear hard drives rattling, some of them are rattling. Once it gets done booting up, they'll kind of quiet down. Here's the GPU fan, which I had thought for 2 or 3 years was what was making all that noise, and just hadn't done anything about it. And then I'll go around to the back of the 120mm fan. And there's a fan in the power supply. It doesn't move a lot of air, but it's not noisy. So Now I'm going to get over here and get that DVI. I forgot to switch. You got to do it on the monitor. You got to do two things. You got to switch the KVM and then switch the monitor to DVI input. Then I'll see it. Yeah, it's already booted up. I'm going to log in just to let it run normally. Actually, maybe I'll see if I can run, if I have a like a benchmark app. If I have a hardware lister on there, I can run the benchmarking and just make it work a little bit. Because I want to see, I don't want to touch the back side of that board, and I don't want to touch the fan. Kind of want to see how warm it gets. And one of those hard drives is still making noise. Oh, wait. You know, wouldn't that be something if... Yeah, one of them is making noise. I don't know which one. Let's see if we can tell with the mic. I'm going to touch the metal to each hard drive. Metal clip. Bottom one, second one. Now it's quitting. There's always one of those down there. I can tell that. I mean, you know, hard drives often do that. Some are noisier than others. So, but the fans, yeah, they're very nice, just good. You know, just like about as quiet as you usually hear on a desktop. Okay, so that's good. Just like about as quiet as. Okay, so yeah, let me get over here on the actual machine. I can't show my work over here on the desktop because I don't have a camera aiming at the... I guess if I grabbed that one camera, I could hold it or something. What are we showing? We're showing the machine. I'll do it if I can figure out how to do it here. I've done this before and it worked. Ah, yes. Okay, now. I have to switch back to the other machine to do some switching, though. Some camera switching. That's not going to go through there. I was trying to use my long stick. For some reason it won't fit. I moved things a little bit. And I guess I actually didn't do the best thing. Because I used to be able to reach things even with my mic in its spot and everything. And now I can't. Okay, I got to go back to my main machine, get off of that machine. Now, if I go to, I want cams 1 and 2, that's what I want. I can see the machine and see, yeah. There we go. There's not a lot of choice here as to how close I can, or far I can get. Let's just pull this over here. Maybe it'll work and be not so much in my way. Not sure what I'm getting at. Okay. I am not sure. Oh, it's moved. The camera's so far behind. Let's see if I can plug in some power to it. Maybe it'll get better. There. Okay, now what I'm trying to figure out is where. What am I looking at? There we go. Okay, we're kind of up to the middle. Well, not in the middle, but anyway. Okay, I think that'll work. Oh, wait a minute. Let's try this one more time. It's taking so long to catch up. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes if I get off, I'm going to go to the desktop. Sometimes if I go to the desktop and then go back to my cameras, the delay will get better. We'll see. Oh yeah, the other thing is I probably want to be higher on the screen. Yeah. Right there. There. Okay, now. I know this is a real pain setting this up. Might have been better to not even try. Okay. But I don't like it when I'm talking about stuff and you can't see it. When I watch it back, it bugs me. Bugs me when other people do it, so we'll do our best here. We didn't lose our camera, did we? No, okay. Well, that's good that I have my preview playing. Got my preview playing, still playing over there on the laptop. Okay, so that's the screen, and I'm so close that, and I don't want to hold the camera. I'll move. I can't hold still. So that's, I'm just gonna. I should be able to get just a portion of the application in where you can see it. Yeah, see, I can just do like that. Okay. See if. I suppose if I. Yeah, just do that, then. Hardware lister is what I'm looking for. There it is, right there. Oh. You have to have root privileges to run it in Fedora 14. Now, normally I like everything to be full screen, but I'll leave it small so that it'll fit in the, well, no, that's not going to work so well. Make it full screen and then, oh, don't make it full screen, just make it bigger. Let's bring it all the way over to there. I can see the I finally realized, oh, I can see the camera so that I can there we go. Now, oh, this is not the one with the benchmarking tools on it, but it's, whoops. CPU is a 1.8 gigahertz, Core 2, Intel. Memory 3 gigabytes, what I thought. And it's got, oh, it's got 4 memory slots. I didn't notice that. I'll have to look over there and see if they're really there. It means I can put a lot more memory in it. Memory's gotten cheap now, so I could do that at some point. Okay, so this is not the one that I was looking for. Darn it. Okay. Let's see. Just in this search, you can when you do a search, you can looking for file. You can change it. You know, all files, images, applications, whatever. So hardware doesn't find anything. HW lister. I wonder if there's anything under benchmark. Just look for bench. System profiler and benchmark. Oh, that is my favorite one. I do like that one a lot. Okay. So I'll make it a little wider, but I won't try to make it full screen. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. It's called, it's Hardinfo. That's the name of this app, Hardinfo. This is the one I like the best. It's for finding, I mean, if you want to do bench, it's the only one I know of in the GUI up in Linux that'll do benchmarks. So we're going to make it work. That's what I'm going to do, and see what happens. I don't think anything will happen, but we'll just look at the summary, and then that will get it started. And then I'm just going to hit generate a report. And it's already selected all, but I'm going to hit select all and make sure. Hit generate, and that'll make it run through the benchmarks and do everything. And I'm going to save that report. I think, yeah, one of the last ones I did, onboard video. Oh, I see. So I'll just do this one and then change the date. Oh wait, 17, and let's change, yeah, for 14 with ATI video card. I don't remember the number. It's either 5440 or 4550, so I'll just say ATI video card. There we go. New fan. Yeah, that way I'll know. I want a big F instead of a little F there. I don't know, I just like the way things look. Okay. Now we'll probably see some of the GPU tests here in a minute. It's working. I hear the fans going. Go over here and put the mic on it. There's a GPU fan. Here's the CPU fan. 120mm fan. And that's right behind the power supply. And the hard drive's quit making noise. Yeah, it's, you know, it's going. See, what it did before is make them a hideous, really, really loud noise that made me want to throw the thing out the window before I replaced this fan. And like I said, I always thought it was that GPU fan. And it never was overheating or anything, so, okay. This report's done. I was busy looking at the fan, so I never did see the, you know, like the graphics running and all that stuff. I guess it did. If it's the app, I think it is. It does that. You know, you'll see it in the window. There may be another one that I don't remember that does that. But seemed to finish the test quick enough. Okay, now it always says open the report. Do you want to open the report in your web browser? Say no, it will lock up. Every machine I've ever said yes on, it locks it up. There's some bug in that or something, I think. If you want to look at the report, the best way to look at it is here in this window here. And we can go down here in the CPU blowfish. I don't know, you know, the numbers, what they really mean, so. It does tell you other machines that are comparable so that you can compare that way. This machine results, it says in seconds, lower is better. So this machine was 12.93, 1.5 gigahertz Celeron was 26, which was probably a single core. This is a dual core. 172 Power PC. CPU crypto hash is only this machine. Nothing. I didn't see anything to compare it to. So it changes between what machine you're on, what you get in here. Lower is better. It's better than any of the machines it's compared it to. CPU in Queens, just this machine. FPU, FFT, I don't really even know what the heck FPU is. Frames per something. Lower is better, yeah, but I don't have anything to compare it to. FPU ray tracing. I don't know what FPU stands for. Okay, so it's still better than what else they're comparing it to, but they didn't compare it to much in this case. I don't know why. Maybe because it's older version on Fedora 14. Probably, yeah, because I've never seen so few things for it to be compared to, and I've been running it quite a bit in the last few months on different machines. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Because I was running in a lot newer version. I was running part of Magic or Fedora, newer versions of Fedora or stuff. Okay, so there we go. I like to have my desktops change the background with pictures that I think are neat. So that test, I'll just open it up and show you. It's going to be an HTML file. Yeah, I saved it as HTML. I think if you save it as a text file, it'll have all that formatting in there and be hard to read. Unless you can tell it what you want it to be. I can't remember. Yeah, I think you might have. I just saved it. Remember, I renamed my older report. So I just saved it. I used HTML because that's the extension that was already in there. I'm opening up some videos that I had done. Oh, yeah. I haven't ever uploaded those videos yet. I made them years ago. 2012 and 2013. I had been looking at them thinking I ought to upload. They turned out to be too big. They're 6.7 gigabytes. One of them, and then well, there's only, I think there's 2 actual videos that I wanted to upload, but I have all the working videos. I actually edited them. Anyway, you couldn't upload that big a video when I made them. And I was thinking, well, I'll have to edit them down, shorten them up, you know, and I never did. And now you can. You can upload up to like 10 gigabytes, I think. So anyway, I never have done it. Let's see. Did I not save it in the right directory? I don't see it. Oh, here it is, I think. Oh yeah, that's got a weird date, 1/18/38. Sometimes that happens. Machines don't have the date set right and stuff. So, yeah, and especially with Windows machines, add aware scan log. So that was from a Windows machine. This machine has years of files on it, you know, backed up on it, synced and backed up and this and that. So, yeah, video card. Yeah, this is the report I just made. Okay, so it's going to be an HTML report, so I'm going to need to open up Firefox. I'll go ahead and open up Firefox. Then I'll double click on it and open it up. I could have just opened up Firefox if I'd been thinking, and you can, if it's an HTML file, you can just open it in Firefox. Oh, I don't have internet, so that's why that said problem found. Okay, so once we get it opened up, we'll see what, I'll have to resize the window, I guess, a little bit. See, these cameras, well, this is on 720p, it would be actually decent if I was recording, if I could record in 1080p. You could read it, but even at 720p, I can make it to where it's probably blurry, but you can read it, I'm going to bet here. Okay, so I was trying to see on my preview what you can see and what you can't. So this is a report, what you get. And it's easy to read, you know, and everything, but it's all categorized in the app. But you can read through this, and it's got lots of information. The one thing that's not, when you go to the very bottom and you look at those reports, it's not as easy to tell. Well, yeah, it is. This machine and so-and-so machine. But anyway, this that app is I really like. You know, with Windows, there is quite a few more to choose from to do benchmarking and stuff, but in Linux, I've only ever ran across two that I know of since I've been doing Linux since 2005. For Fedora now, in Debian there might be one or two more that I can't remember. I don't use Debian real often. So anyway, it's running good, and let's put this camera back in its place. Let's see. Before there's no point. Well, let me grab it up, and we'll use it to kind of look around the machine. And I'm not going to try to take my mic off this time. Here's the, it's really doing good. It's quiet now, you know, it's back to being quiet. It's as quiet as it was when I first turned it on. So I think I'm happy. I think I can close it up and put it back. Now all I got to do is clean all that out and put it back in there. That's really not a lot of stuff. But let's put this thing back up here like normal, and then maybe I'll turn it around and aim it that direction. Let's just do that. That tripod stays good, but it doesn't turn good, that's for sure. Okay, so if I try to show that, yeah, like that'll probably be the best. Look at my preview and see what I can't see on the screens on these cameras are not good at all for this. You can't see them unless you're in just the right light and just the right place. Can't see what I'm doing here. Oh, I see. I got my hand there. Okay, now I can see. There. Oh, I was probably in a better spot before. Okay, well, that's fine. It's not going to be good no matter what I do. But I forgot to shut the machine down. I want to plug it in because these things can't run very long without being plugged in. So I'll just shut it down without being on camera. Shut it down, get the lid, and I'll be able to tell when it shuts down. The lights will all go out. So let's go back over here so that I can control things again. That Kvm switch, I don't know how much of that you can see there, but it's my preview went back to google.com all by itself, it seems. Don't know what I would have touched to make that happen. Oh, I bet I touched something on the keyboard. Yeah, I sure did. My mic did that. I've been having to move my mic. There we go. Yeah, I've been having to move my mic in order to get to that Kvm switch. You must have hit a button that sent it to home or something. Now, get my main computer back. Oh, now I can actually see what I'm showing. That's actually probably okay. Alright, yeah, 1 and 2 will be fine. I'm going to leave it like that because that's where I'm coming from, where I'm going to. I don't need the endoscope right now. I'll plug all these cables. They actually need to go back up in there. let's just leave them here. I've got all kind of wires and stuff in the way. I might need that. I was wrapping up a got two bottle things. Okay, that speaker, I want it to be there, but not like it is right now. This is a cool thing. This is I haven't done anything with it yet. It's a whole little kit with a breadboard, a bunch of components, some resistors and stuff. I don't remember what else in there. I bought those one set of patch wires separately to have plenty of them. Come with a set. And I wanted to use it with my Raspberry Pi and my Arduino to make things, electronic projects. And it's got a book and a CD with how-to, because I'm a new beginner with all that stuff. I know quite a bit about computers and Linux, but not about, you know, embedded systems and stuff. I've been trying to learn about it. I've been reading about them for years. So let's see. This wire here that goes to my phone, but I've got it wrapped up so much that I think I won't be able to get to it once I get the computer back in there. So I think I'll do it like that. I think I'll leave these cables out the front. My mic's going to be in the way. I'm not using it. Okay, so these cables, I can't really stay out the front. I guess I can dangle them over my monitor for right now. This, I'm going to put my mic up, then it'll be out of the way. How am I going to do this? This has got to go somewhere else. Yeah, I don't have to put it up, just slide it up there. Okay, now, this speaker, I think the only way I'm going to get it out of the way, okay, this one goes on that side. I like to remember what order they go in if I can. They actually go opposite of the way they're laying. Okay, and that speaker, I don't use those all the time. They're my first good set of computer speakers, and they still have a good sound. I don't use them a lot, but I set them. I use them for like temporary things when I just want to hurry up and hook up a speaker, you know, instead of having to go to my rack and amps and all that stuff. Okay, now this stuff, I think I'll take that and just set it out of the way. That's actually a power supply for the Kvm switch, and I had decided it was causing noise in the sound. And unplugged it years ago, and I think really that wasn't the actual problem now. So that's about it for getting ready. And I could really use some dust cleanup back there, but if I get into that, it's just going to be all over me and eating me alive. So I'm going to leave it alone. I need to vacuum. That's what I need to do. Okay, now this, you know, I don't know what I did with the 2 screws for the back of this case, but I've got plenty. So this, you got to be real careful with this. It's got a little plug that's real easy to pull out. See, there's a light on this. There's a fan with a light. And you also have to be careful that it doesn't get into any other fans, this cable, when you hook this all up. Of course, it wants to dangle down, but then you want it to... There we go. At least you can see it. It's all clear. And that won't stay on there good without screws in it. It'll fall off when you go. If you go to moving it around a little bit, it can fall off. Oh, now that's got to be unplugged. and plug in the one that I use. Where is the one that I use? Uh-oh, I think it may have fell. It's not up here. I had all this stuff. Oh, no, there it is. I got it draped across there. Good. So nothing's fell. I had those twisted to that. It actually has a modem and I have a phone line for it. Okay, so screws. I need to get a couple just regular case screws. Nothing special. There's one. And there's another one. There we go. Yeah, I've saved screws for years, so I've got plenty of screws. Kind of wonder how I got so many screws, because I generally don't take them out of machines. Yeah, this one, this case I got, ended up getting it for free because this was the one that came with Mom's PC kit. And when it arrived, I don't know if you can see that, there's a crack all the way from here to here. That was broke. This was bent. And at some point I put some self-tapping, those are black screws, I don't know how well you can see those, to keep it from rattling in there. And but the case was fine. Well, and there was some broken tabs in here that hold the front on, but it stays in there fine. And so anyway, I bought that kit from Tiger Direct, and back then they were really good. And they just said, well, okay, we'll send you another one, and we'll send you another case, and don't worry about sending that one back. I was worried I was going to have to spend money sending it back, you know, but I didn't have to. And so I put this with the processor and one of the memory sticks was out, and probably one of these hard drives, or a hard drive, was in a gateway machine that had got hit by lightning, and I was brought to me to see what was wrong with it, see if it could be fixed or whatever, and I figured out the motherboard was bad and everything, and then they decided to use their, if I remember right, they decided to use their insurance to get a new machine, and then I ended up keeping that one just to help pay for the labor of me diagnosing it. And it was one time when I actually got paid, and I think I did get a little money too. I got like $35. Yeah, go try to get that done at Staples or any of those other places. Oh, good job. Yeah, try to get somebody just to diagnose and see what they'll charge you. $100 used to be. It's probably more than that now. Dang it. So that was really crappy. Okay, this camera doesn't need to be looking at the monitor anymore. So doesn't need to be looking at my chair either. There we go. There's where we're working. Oh, too far. That looks pretty good, I guess. Wire. Okay, and this other camera, yeah, we'll leave it where it is. If I can do that, I may have to. I ran into either the camera or the cable, the power cable that's plugged into it. That's what happened. So let's don't do that. I'm probably going to knock it off again if I don't move it or do something different. Let's see. Great camera work, eh? There we go. Now I can actually plug that into power, I think. No, it won't reach. Yes, it will if I move the power. There's no reason why I can't do that. Yeah. There we go. So, to get this all hooked up, I need Let's try the light. I'm afraid it'll just blind me. Yeah, it's probably going to be helpful. Okay, VGA cable, no, that's the bad VGA cable. Yeah, and it has an onboard video, so you got to remember not to don't hook up the onboard video. Okay, now the DVI cable going straight to the monitor needs to be hooked up. And it stays pretty good, so I don't like to screw them in unless they want to fall out real bad, because if something falls and gets yanked, you know, you're liable to break something off your computer. You know, that stuff that I tied that with is not going to allow it to reach, I don't think, because it's not, this is not a real long cable. Wait, I think it will reach. Yeah. If I can leave that tied to the Kvm switch, I won't. Only thing is, I should have started at the bottom. Now I can't see. So unplug it. Okay, line and phone. It's labeled. Some modems it doesn't matter. Some you have to. Yeah, line and phone. I want it in the line. There's an in and an out on some modems. This one has an in and an out. There we go. There we go. Okay, and this other thing, I took it off just to keep it from dangling all over the machine all the time. I should have plugged it in first too, really. Now this one, it stays pretty tight. I was gonna screw it in. Now let's screw it in. If I had anything plugged into it, it would be easy to yank it out of there. Well, I think I'm gonna screw it in. I guess I need to set it down and use a screwdriver. Okay, let's see if are we working good? Oh, I don't have the audio playing. Let's go ahead and start the audio playing if I can on my preview. I can see that it is very much behind. I can see me at the machine and I'm over there at my laptop. Okay. I don't want them tight, I just want them snugged up. I don't know that you can see what I'm doing, but I'm that pigtail with all the B and C connectors that goes from that VGA card. I just realized that's what you probably would call it, as a VGA video card. That's what it has, is the same exact connector as a VGA output, but in reverse. So it's the older version, but well, I mean, that was an expensive card with 5 inputs, video card with 5 inputs. It's a pretty good video card for any time. You don't see a lot of that kind of stuff nowadays. Not for, you know, well, I don't know. I say not for home computing or not for a decent price. Well, like I just said, they were expensive back in the day. So, and it wasn't for home video then. It was for business video surveillance. It was in a company that built these machines up. They're basically like a Tiger Direct kit, and they built them up and sold them as video surveillance machines. They're in a generic case, and I'm not talking about this machine, I'm talking about the machine this card came out of. So, yeah, being confusing again, aren't I? Okay. This power supply for this thing, I've been wanting to, there's times when I want to use something on my, see my keyboard tray, my keyboard is also a USB, 2-port USB. And but it always, I'll plug things into it once in a while and it'll say not enough power. So if I plug this in, I would probably have enough power. I gotta figure out where it plugs in. Well, I guess I can just, that should be okay. Since got everything all apart here, I'm just gotta make sure I don't shove this computer in such a way that it falls. It's not even really half, well, it's about half and half, half on, half off. I thought this would be easy to tilt up, but it's, with all those cables on it, yeah, there it goes, right there. Kind of figured it would be somewhere like that. So I'm going to plug that in, and I'm going to tie it to that VGA output so that it won't get lost. Wait, I don't think that's tight enough to work. I do that with anything I don't want to fall and get lost. If I happen to unplug it, or if it gets yanked out or something. So in this case, not really planning on calling under the, I don't know if there's any open stuff back there, but I'll show you. I didn't really think about doing that. Okay, so this is my KVM switch on the back side, and I just, the power adapter, I just plugged it in. There's a VGA out, has 2 USBs. This is going to my keyboard, that's going to my mouse, and then I've got 2 more. You can plug anything in there, a printer, anything USB. The only thing is when you, like I used to have a printer plugged in there, and when you start, what I'll do, what I liked about my KVM switch, I could get something going on my machine and then switch to another one and go to work over there and not have to wait. And so, but we get a print job started, well, they're kind of slow. And so you flip over to another machine without thinking, well, that disconnects your printer. Same thing with webcams. And when I bought this, I was running Windows. I think I was running Windows 98. But I remember in XP, it had that really annoying dun-dun-dun-dun that would, every time, you know, you would switch the thing with a USB camera or printer or whatever plugged in there, it would make that noise and drive me nuts. So anyway, this thing, see, it has 4 VGAs, 4 USBs, and so whichever one you're on is the one that you're, so same monitor, same keyboard with 4 different computers. So it's pretty cool. Now I'm going to need both hands to get back to doing this. So plug this thing back into its place. So yeah, if you don't know what a KVM switch is, that's a KVM switch. Okay. Oop, I need that light. Okay. Well, that's mine. That's a 4-port. The ones that, this was actually a fairly new model. It was with the USB because most of them had, you know, PS2 keyboard and mouse. And so this was the new ones, and it was $100 just for a 4-port switch. But well, at first I thought it'd really be beneficial to plug anything you wanted into it and use it on any computer before I realized what a pain it was. But it was still well worth it. I've had it for maybe 15 years now, still working. So it's a little crankier in its old age now, but still works. Get all this knots out of this. Let's see. It says noise and audio on laptop Dell 1525. That's why I kept it. For KVM switch, that's why I kept it unplugged. I had a note on it there, but I don't watch TV on that laptop anymore, so I'm going to drop that down there so that I can plug it in if I want to. Wrong way. Got it wrapped around the DVI cable for the monitor. Just drop it down in there again. Well, do I really want it? Yeah, I'm going to drop it down. I could leave it up here. Drop it on down. Leave it like that. Leave this DVI cable kind of half wrapped up back here. I'm not going to try to wrap it up because then if I pull this thing out, it's liable to... Okay, now, is that everything? Yes, that is everything. Oh, audio. Well, I used to keep an audio cable plugged in the back of it, but it's actually, I think the connector may be getting old, maybe old and worn. It makes noise every time. It's either that or the cable, but I think I figured out it wasn't the cable, so I can plug. I've got one. I finally realized I can't keep so many plugged in. It degrades my audio signal too much with that patch bay that I use. It's not a mixer, it's just a patch bay. So that's a patch bay that my friend's dad made years ago. He was an electronics engineer, made it back in the 80s, so it's kind of the old school patch bay, and it works great. RCA patch bay. But he was a musician, and he had a 4-track recording set up in one of his bedrooms, and he had a Gibson Les Paul, original 56 or 58 Gibson Les Paul. And he was a jazz musician back in the original jazz days. And he, anyway, when he passed away, my buddy gave me a bunch of his stuff. And I actually had that 4-track and everything, and then I let somebody else get away with it. And I still wish I hadn't let that get away. 4-track audio recorder is what I'm talking about. Cables are not doing like going in where I want them to go. Okay, let's see. Oh, my preview just happened to reload. Are we still working over there? I don't hear audio on my on my live feed. Let's see. Oh, it's muted. That's why. There we go. I don't know. I think somehow it reloaded. Don't know why. Okay, so maybe I hit another button on the keyboard over here, messing with everything. So I'm trying to get this back. Yeah, it helps keep my KVM switch from sliding back. Keeps it in place. That computer does. Okay, yeah, but anyway, I just got one 3.5 millimeter to the RCA going up to my patch bay, that I can just plug into the front of whichever other computer I want to hook up. And I just leave my main computer hooked up, and maybe one other one, can't remember. Maybe just it. Anyway. Yeah, this wireless keyboard is live and connected to my laptop that I'm previewing with, so I keep bumping into stuff. There we go. Okay, there it is in place. Yeah, now I'm reorganizing sticky notes. On live with Don. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'd like to see that it works. Okay. Oh, that will reach. I was afraid that wasn't going to reach. I'll put the speaker, well, the speaker's the last thing I want to put back. Spoot it up again. See that it's going to work as it should. Okay. I'm just going to leave that camera over there where it is. And then, okay. Yeah, normally I have always had my monitor touching it, but I'm going to leave it like it is now. Okay, well, let's see. Let's do that. It helps keep the monitor from moving around. Okay, now, I had that way for years, and it was really weird not having it that way. Okay, this camera, let's go ahead and put it back down here like I did before, so that I could get the monitor. Oops, I'm gonna mess things up. Okay, actually, the way I had that a minute ago was pretty good. Kind of crooked to a certain extent, but I can get to my keyboard with it like that. Okay, now, what I have to do to get this to work. Yeah. Okay, so I'll switch over to the other machine, the one I'm going to just put in place, and switch to the DVI. Now we can turn it on. I think I just turned it on. Oh, I haven't plugged in the power yet. Dang it. Yeah, you ever get that feeling you're forgetting something, but you don't know what it is? Okay, power is down there where I left it. I don't know if my arm will even get down there. Okay, yes, I can. I don't remember which way is which. I can't reach it anyway. I gotta pull it. I guess I'll pull it out to where I can get my hand out and get my hand in there and just feel of it. Okay. Oh, it's sideways. Usually they're like up and down. This one is. So luckily there's 3 of them, so you can feel of it and tell which way to go. Yeah. Okay. Wasn't such a disaster after all. All right, now. And I'll have all these cables that have to run across the desk, and I have to get them in front of the legs of the computer. And so when I move it in and out, I have to go up and over the cables. I kind of have well, I had a spot that I thought was the perfect spot. I think I'm changing my mind as to how far I had that computer pushed forward. Oh, there we go. There. Okay, now, let's try that again. At least I'm glad I'm getting this part done. I'm still not working on Mom's machine, but if I get this all set up, working, seems to be working good. So now I should be able to get back to Mom's machine. I got my server out in the garage waiting. I can leave it out there, and the noise it makes won't bother me with it in the garage. Now I don't know if this camera's quit streaming or what. No, it doesn't look like it. I think it's just the monitor's black. Yeah, it's just that the monitor's black. So there we are, booting up. Fedora 14. And when it gets booted up, then we'll move it back to whatever it is I want to show. Go ahead and put it on the terminal so we can see it booting up. Just too close to see the whole boot menu. On the right would be OK, green OK, but you can't see that. You can just barely see the parentheses on the left of the OK. Yeah, I love this Fedora 14 system so much that I did not want to get rid of it. So I just kept it like it is. There's apps that can't be got anymore. They don't support them anymore. And well, I don't know. You might be able to go in the archives and download them, but the Fedora archives. But this is already built and set up. I actually really always had I never did quite figure out. I did it before, adding like manually adding another repo. All the repos are gone now. They've moved, they're in archives for Fedora 14, and I can't install or uninstall anything. I didn't know that until I tried to uninstall something, and I couldn't because it couldn't find the repos. It has to find the repos to uninstall. So since I don't use it much, I never have got around to trying to manually set those up to the archive repos. But let's see. Get over here all the way to the left side. I needed it right in the middle to do that. Let's see. This is the one I nearly knocked the phone. I got it all out of whack. All the rubber bands are all over the place. So it's on the desktop here. Okay, so it's running good. I was gonna see if there's any what apps. Some of my favorite apps are right here on the desktop, because most of these are not. Well, not all of them. Some of them are not actually installed from the repos, so they're not in the the applications list. And then some of them are, and I just wanted to put them on there so I could get to them, because I didn't want to fill this up anymore at the top. But yeah, as far as a hardware app, I don't think I have anything like that. On the yeah, if I move that all the way over to there, then I can type. Let's see, system. Just when I first booted up, it's a bit unresponsive. Actually, is not very fast. It used to be much faster. I mean, this is not a fast machine, but it used to be much faster before over the years, I added so many applications to it. A lot of them ended up with things running in the background, that system monitor. I typed in system monitor. That's one of them that I like right there. Logical volume management. You can resize LVMs with this app, and I've never found it again. It's a GUI app. Yeah, benchmark. HTOP's just kind of a command line with a little bit of graphics in it. System what's going on with the system. There's another one, GK system monitor. There's another system monitor. One of them tells you a little more about what's going on with the system. Let's see. Let's see what this one is. I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's just just something to let it run in the background kind of thing. It's actually pretty good, but it's not what I wanted. Tells you everything that's going on. I think with that white background behind it, it's making me can't see it. Let's put it over here. Oh, you can see it there. Yeah, put it in the black. You can see it. Okay, so CPU 1, CPU 0, CPU 1. That's how they do it. What else have we got? Proc. I don't know what proc is. Disk, SDA, SDB, SDC, yes, ETHO, VBR. I think there's more stuff down there that you can make it show up. But it's a real-time monitor, and I'm going to quit that one. That's not super interesting. Well, let's look at system monitor next. See what's available. One of them has this is the one I use all the time. It's the one that let's see. Now this one has a graph in it for let's see. So if I can bring it over to where it'll, you know, you can see most of it there. So the CPU tells you how much. See, it's working pretty hard right now. I don't know. I think this actual graph makes it work hard, at least when you first start it up. See, now it's kind of leveling off a little, but then memory is it's using half a gigabyte of 3 gigabytes. Swap is using 0, and then the bottom part's network history and what's going on there. There's not much, really nothing going on there. And then the running, you know, of course, I'd love to be able to see what's running and just close it if needed to. Like HTTPD, say I have Apache web server running on it so that I could test my website on it, and Tor on there, and Spamd. Yeah, I imagine a lot of this, but I can't even uninstall this stuff if I wanted to now without getting the repos set up. And I just haven't messed with it. It works fine, you know, for just. Well, there's still an update. It's going to be Flash. You still get updates for Flash and Fedora 14, and they'll install automatically. I'll show you. It's going to be Flash, I know. You don't ever get anything else, hardly ever. You definitely don't get anything from Fedora 14. There's a Flash update, because I don't put Flash on my systems anymore, but I had it on. Back then, you couldn't watch anything online without Flash, you know. But it'll install, and we won't install, let's see, this thing does automatic updates, I thought, on everything but Flash, I think. I don't know, I think it's just the type of, you know, since it's not coming from the Fedora repos, it's automatically asks you instead of just doing it. But I generally set I think that that system, if there were any updates, it would just install them. Unless I turned that off when it got old or something, but I don't see why I would have. But it's almost done. But it'll close when it's done. Oh, and also the desktop search app. It's scanning the drives, and so indexing the drives, and so that makes it run slow. And you can just, you know, I left click on it, then you can pause it, and it'll make it run a little better. Let's see, it's called Tracker. It's a real good search tool, but it does use quite a bit of resources. But it'll run for 20, 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes before it gets done. Well, since now I just don't want to wait on it, so I just stop it, so it probably is way behind on scanning. It's the same app that I'm using to search for apps and everything. I don't know if I guess you can still put it on your system, but Fedora, okay, updates installed. Fedora only used to come with just a desktop search, and well, actually it still does. But I got to using XFCE App Finder. That's what I use now. I think maybe I went looking for Tracker and it just wasn't there. Well, I'll go ahead and pause it because it'll probably run a bit better. Okay, that's probably why it wasn't using so many resources. Forgot about that. System, it'll still search, you know, the apps have not been changing forever, so it'll still find apps and everything. But if there were any new files on there, they wouldn't be seen, you know. Now, I don't remember which system monitor that is, but that's not what I'm really looking for. See, there's an app to create a Kickstart file. I don't think they have that anymore. For when you want to build you you want to build your own custom Linux system, you need a Kickstart file. And HTOP planets, that's pretty cool. I just search for system and all this stuff comes up. Let's see if that's, see which one's the one. I tried to double click on it, but I don't know if it's hit enter. There we go. This is the one I use all the time, yeah, okay. So the other one up the top is one that might have a different, oh yeah, this is the one that'll tell you your, tell you what your system has on it and everything. Fedora 14, Laughlin, still running kernel 2. Yeah, that's pretty old kernel, 2.635. 3 gigabyte of RAM, Intel Core 2, 1.8 gigahertz. Pretty wimpy processor. I mean, I went from a 2.4 gigahertz Pentium 4 to this. And so I did, at first I thought, you know what, it's slower than the Pentium 4. And in some cases it is, but it will handle more applications running at the same time than the Pentium 4 would. My Pentium 4 was 2.4 gigahertz, and I did end up maxing it out on RAM. It has 2 gig of RAM now. Hey, it's still a good machine for like if you want to like I recorded a bunch of audio on it, like a whole cassette tape, like 30-40 minutes worth of audio on it not too long ago, because it was the only machine I had that had space. Now I reformatted my Lenovo L5 when I got space on it, but it was full back at that time. And it did great with Audacity. Had no problems running, doing anything, and I did some editing on it on there too, and it didn't have no problems doing that. Never slowed down or anything. But then but if you say you want to watch YouTube, you can't really handle it. You can't handle YouTube in full screen hardly at all. And none of these older single core machines can do that anymore because of all the junk they got on the, you know, in the web browser and all the web pages and everything. All the processes running in there. Okay, now here's the graphic output. Well, this is pretty much the same as the other one. The only really big difference in this one, well, it has this. It tells you all about your I guess you're not seeing it, are you? There we go. It tells you all about your disk usage. I don't know how much was being cut off. I couldn't see to tell. My preview is so far behind I can't really use it to aim the camera. And resources, and then now it's 32. Just to say right at 30. Well, it's now see it went 32 down to 14, and then I saw this one going 30, 39, 40 down to 22. So it's you know, it's making it work just running this app. That's all. Tracker search tool still running in the background, just the search results. But this one you can't search for apps. Like if you're trying to, you want to look for a particular app, you can't do that. But I like the when you can't remember what your kernel is or something, you know, you can just get to it right quick there. But no need in running another benchmark. Let's see. You know, there was only one. Sometimes, you know, you can search for benchmark and you may have another app that can do benchmarks, but it just didn't come up in the search results because the developers didn't put the right keywords in their app, you know. But I guess our description, not really keywords like a website, but anyway, that's the only one that shows up as System Profiler. And let's see what else. System benchmark. Hardware. I think the only thing that comes up for hardware is the AMD Catalyst is for that video card. That's the control for the. I guess I could go in there. That'd be the more interesting than administrative and regular. We'll just go in where I won't have to. Actually, probably should have went in administrative. That's the only way you can do any. Oh, it says it can't do it for some reason. Oh, no such file or directory. I don't know what's going on with that. Now it doesn't want to close. Maybe it actually took when I tried to open the other one. Come on. Okay, so that's when it's really wonderful to have this. Let's see now. See, it's not at the top of memory usage, but I know it's locked up. AMD, no. What's it called? Catalyst, yeah. Doesn't seem like it's running. Okay, there's another way. I just remember not able to find it easily that way, but there's this force a misbehaving app. You can put it up there in your, I'll put it up at my top, I'll call it toolbar, but whatever it's called, panel. Just click on it and then go down there. Oh, actually, you don't drag it like that. You click on it and it makes a little crosshairs, and then you click on the one you want to force quit. Now, does he want to force quit? Yes, I do. Okay. Now let's see if that'll run. What did I search for? Hardware. I don't know. Maybe it's not working because I'm going to try the administrative one this time. Well, same thing. That's weird. And it will not. See if I can get a screenshot of that. Excuse me. Well, that was for when I was running the proprietary driver for that video card, is what it was for. Force it to quit again. It also closes my search results. I do not know why it's not working. It used to run, it's not working. What the heck? And that's really weird. I don't know why it's broken. It didn't used to be broken. Let's look up here in the system. I guess you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go to system. Yeah, there it is. It's up in there. You can see it. Just see it, can't you? Dang it. I accidentally mashed the button with this tripod. Yeah, AMD Catalyst Control Center and AMD Catalyst Control Center Administrator. Let's see if it'll work from there. Could not launch. Huh. Same error. This time you can close the error though. Well, it seems to be broken. Don't know why. It didn't used to be broken. So I could have uninstalled something. Oh, that wasn't the system that it happened on. One of these systems I forced installed the proprietary video driver. You didn't want to install right, and he said, well, you can do force install if you want, but and I don't know. It told you don't do it, and I did it anyway, and because I wanted 3D support, and I guess it worked, but maybe it did. I don't remember. But anyway, I tried to uninstall it later, and I couldn't uninstall it. Maybe, you know what I might have done? I remember it stayed there for years, and it just bugged me because sometimes it would give me a headache in certain things. And because I went back to using the other, the open source driver, and I think I went. That might be what it is. I may have went and found all the folders and deleted them all, but that didn't get rid of this stuff, So yeah, that would be why that wouldn't be there. I remember thinking. And I guess I'll have to go. I might have finally did it. Like I say, after I built my new system, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to try it. I may have went back and found every folder I could find for that driver and deleted them. Anyway, can't show that, but that wouldn't matter. I mean, it wouldn't have anything to do with it. Let's look for display. Yeah, there we go. Monitors, Libna display configuration, and that's all it really has to do with display. Usually if they don't have an icon, they're not going to run on their own like that. That's the normal monitors app right there. See, 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz, just, you know, the normal stuff. That's off the, let's see what this one is. That's off the open source. Now you need a root password for that. And okay, this has got more stuff in it. Oh, proprietary driver installed, FGLRX. That was an error, wasn't it? Couldn't find something to do to that. Allow Livnia display. So it does have the proprietary driver installed according to this. Disable all, both XGL and AIG Advanced. XGL is not in repositories, available only if user bin so-and-so exists. Oh, okay. Driver status, enable composite, enable AIG XL driver. Well, it's, you know, I don't want to change anything here because that may cause me a headache. It's been working for all my needs like it is, so I'm not going to mess with it. Doesn't seem like, it's my, usually that when I hit print screen, I should be getting a, yeah, it worked, okay. I guess it just wasn't presenting it. Usually oh, there it is down at the bottom right. I couldn't, I probably just didn't see it. Showing that I have made a screenshot. Okay, so, yeah. Oh, this one works and doesn't have an icon. I was saying it might not work if they don't have an icon. Well, I kind of remembered that Livnia, I thought it said Lavina. I've always called it Lavina. L-I-V-N-A, Livna. Axis Advanced Frame Buffer. Data display. But frame buffer's got to do with video too, but that's not really doing, nothing's showing up there. I don't know what that is really. I just saw it and wondered. Okay, so, well, obviously our display drivers work. I mean, our video card's working fine. I don't hear any obnoxious noises. I didn't before and I don't now. I can hear that it's running from sitting here, but it's not driving me crazy. And when it's working hard, it would make those horrible noises before, and I just couldn't stand it. And see how many. If I get too many screenshots open, it will use up memory, too much memory. So I'm going to close this shutter. I like the Shutter screenshot app, but it uses power. Okay, so I think it's going to be all right. And yeah, of course, right now I have the laptop running too, and it's playing my, you know, my preview of my video. But yeah, I think this is looks like it's gonna be a success. The only problem I could have, you know, might have that is what if it overheats, you know, the video card overheats. Yeah, let's go. I just remembered. I want to reboot it and let's get into BIOS because yeah, there's no sensor. I never really tried to, you know, get into. Is it sense or sense? Let's just go CNS and see. Thunderbird, Anemotaxis, Font Glide. Okay, I don't know what Anemotaxis would be. Never heard of that. Something demonstrates a search algorithm. Oh, huh. Okay, well, let's don't bother with that. Yeah, down at the bottom of that screen, it will tell you what, you know, what that app does. Description. Okay. I know I don't have any temperature, anything. K Media Factor, Tempest. K Media Factory is something to do with, you know, yeah, template-based DVD authoring software. Okay, so let's go into BIOS. And don't know if it's delete, F1, F2, escape, or what. So we'll try whatever, try it all. And I forgot I was still on 2-camera view, but that's all right. This is not blurry like, you know, the other way, but it's yeah, got it. I don't know which one got it, but I got it. Okay. So it's AMI BIOS, I believe. I just saw somewhere. American Megatrends BIOS. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to straight over to, I guess, performance. Please clear CMOS if system no display after overclocking. Well, I'm not going to overclock. CPU frequency setting, PCI clock, CPU voltage default, DRAM frequency. Okay, that's not what I want. Smart fan control. CPU configuration. Okay, that doesn't really. Oh, okay, no, that's the addresses, port addresses, hardware configuration. Here we go. What was that in? Hardware health configuration. Now, CPU temperature, 98 degrees. That's really good. 98, 100. 38C, for those who need the C. CPU fan speed, 2295 RPM. System fan speed, 1470. See, that's quite a bit slower. That's that big 120 millimeter fan. CPU V-core, and I don't never have learned about what's up and down with that stuff. 3 volt is 3.28, that's good. 5 volt is 4.919, that's all right. 12 volt is 11.584, that's getting a little low. If it was any lower than that, I might have some problems. Front FSB voltage, front side bus, I think. I don't know the significant, well, I wouldn't know what's right and wrong with that. Memory voltage, I wouldn't know what's right. 5 volt USB, 5.036, that's right on the money. Set down temperature, let's see, disabled. Yeah, I've never turned that on, which I'm not going to do it now either. Well, I could. It's never needed that though. It's never gotten that hot, so. It doesn't measure the temperature of the GPU fan, though. GPU does it, just CPU temperature. It's actually the only temperature it measures. So it's only the GPU that I'm worried about overheating. If I was overclocking, I'd probably do that, but let's see. Oh, the bottom one to shut down at is 140 degrees Fahrenheit. All the way up to 167 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I'm going to leave it like it is. Smart fan function. Quiet. Yes, that's the way I want that. That's a good thing when it you know, just to be able to tell it to. I actually like the kind of automated, you know, like instead of saying, having to learn it all, just say quiet or oh, well, there's one called cool and quiet. But anyway, you know, you figure it out when you read them. You know, CPU, smart fan, auto, control mode, quiet, and smart fan calibration. You can hit something and make it calibrate. And there's quiet, performance, and manual. So I'm leaving it on quiet. Definitely, that's all I want out of that thing. And as long as it doesn't get hot, it's fine. Power configuration. Repost video. S3 on resume. Let's see. Suspend mode auto. I usually don't like them to be on. Oh, I see. I just don't want it putting itself going to sleep when I don't want them to ever go to sleep unless I want them to go to sleep, and that I'll be shutting them down. Hate that when they go the machine goes to sleep or the monitor goes to sleep when you're in the middle of watching a video or something. Headless mode. You can turn that on and off in the BIOS. You could make there's a lot of features in here that help you to make this into a server. No, I don't have any other resume on ring or anything. USB device, wake up from S3, high performance event timer. I don't see anything about wake on LAN in there. USB configuration, enabled. Yes, okay, yes. Okay, so I don't need to do IDE configuration. Yeah, so it's a TA1 disk, let's see. Yeah, okay, I don't know, I was going to see which one was, that's not where you'd go to see what the boot, which one's the boot device. Boot device priority, CD and then SATA Hitachi. I guess that's going to be the 1 gigabyte drive. I mean, 1 terabyte drive. Hard disk drives, so I've got Hitachi, SATA, ST, and then HDD, WD, SATA, ST33. So there's 4 hard drives in there. 1 DVD, CD DVD, boot settings, there we go. Quick boot enabled, forced BIOS mode, yeah, I got that turned on. Boot and unlock on, interrupter 19 capture, and I don't remember what that means, but it's enabled. Boot success beep enabled. Okay, so did I change anything in here? No, I'm just looking around, right? Yeah. Okay. So the default is save changes and exit, but in case I messed anything up, I didn't want to change anything, right? I was just looking it over. Yes, I believe so. Okay, discard changes and exit. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's a little, you know, you can go to that if you hit the right thing. You can go to that little screen that tells temperatures and stuff. Let's try to hit Control-Alt-Delete and see if we can get in there. It's something like F11 or 10 or something. Okay, now that got me into selecting what I want to boot to. Now you can do that if you want to. I've got 2 or 3 other hard drives I could boot to in there, but that's not what I was wanting. I wanted to go to that. Let me watch that screen and see if it'll tell me something. Those temperatures up. So I don't know. Of course, I can use the grub. What I can do to boot to another operating system, I use grub. So that's the default right there for the 14. But I can go to grub 2, which I installed in order to do this. I can boot from. Whoops! It automatically went to booting from one of the others because I didn't hit anything. So what we're booting into. Oh, I think it went to the default. Yeah, it went to Fedora 14. It's in there too. Pretty quickly here, I'm going to want to quit and eat supper. That's what it'll be for me. I don't want to interrupt that. I let it get into it, so I'm going to let it keep going. You know, this is not really that bad putting this camera here like this. I guess when I want to show my screen, I may have to give up on. I always want to be able to see the whole screen, you know. And I don't like something in the way of my monitor. And I actually completely forgot about the way I'm doing this. You can see where it is in the other view. I've got this tripod setting on one leg on the keyboard tray and the other two legs on the keyboard, and I can still work, just not well. But I can move it around and show, you know, I can show basically about half of the screen, a little more than half. Okay. And where's the switching? You can switch to different desktops too. No, I have several different desktops. I think it's not fitting the screen right, because I think up at the top's where you change to a different desktop. Or is it that right there? No, that's the accessibility stuff. Yeah, that's not showing up. I think it's not fitting. It needs to be adjusted to the monitor. You can do that easily enough. Let's see. Trying to figure out how to do it. I never can remember how to do it. It's not doing it. Fit and full. Fit is the best one, I think. Well, I don't know if it just timed out or what. It must have timed out. I always forget how to do this. Sometimes I can just do it. Okay, it's on fit, so that'll do. That's what I want. Okay, well, it's not automatically adjusting. Sometimes you can turn it off and turn it back on, and it'll work. When you switch to different machines, some of them don't fit real well, and then. But yeah, all the different desktops. There's 3 or 4 of them on here, and I think they're off the top of the screen there. Well, you in the picture you can't see the whole thing, but I can't either. I'm not seeing it all. So anyway, just noticed that. Restart. Okay. Well, what I was looking at there, I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's on a quick boot. Maybe that normally shows you the temperatures and stuff as it boots up. I thought you could get it to go to that screen and sit there and watch it. Probably can somehow. But trying to think. Yeah, the Fedora 14 has more apps than any other operating system I have. So if I don't have any other applications in there, you know, to help me see what's going on, and I mean, temperature-wise and all that stuff. F12, oh, there it went. See, it went to that. Okay, so I was in Grub 2, but I didn't hurry up and change. So you got Fedora 14 recovery, a whole bunch of different kernels. Ubuntu, that Ubuntu is Artist X remix based on Ubuntu, and then OpenSUSE is one I built. OpenSUSE 11, I did it years ago, and that's it. Yeah, that's the only other 2 operating systems I have. That's Artist X right there. It's got some cool audio video stuff in it. And you could actually still use this old version here if you wanted. But I never ended up not using it much, because everything I like to use, you could do it in Fedora. Well, there's times back and forth. Kdenlive, my favorite video editor. One year it'll work in Fedora, and the other it won't. Now it says Ubuntu running in low graphics mode. There's all kinds of little picky problems with it, and I just don't want to fool with it because I don't like Ubuntu. I don't like the way it works. Artist X I used for 2 years on the Bain etch-and-a-half. When it first year it came out, you had to build it on the Bain. It told you how to do it on this side, and I ran it for 2 years. Let's see. Not sure what the password is. Oh, it went off of the, there we go. There, I actually remembered it. Okay. Another instance of camera monitor is already running. Oh, okay. But it's got a lot of audio video apps pre-installed in it. Of course, this is the old version from, I'm not sure how old it is. But the biggest thing that made me quit using anything to do with Ubuntu was that it was always, every version for several years there, would not update. It would hang up on the updates, and you had to muck around and read stuff and go on the command line to get it to update. And back in those days, it was so simple to run. People talk about Fedora as a pain, and you know, some of the newer ones after Fedora 14 have been a bit of a pain here and there. But from Fedora 7 to 14, it was a breeze. It was easier. It worked a lot like Windows XP and way easier and way less trouble. I like the Genome 2 desktop, or now Mate desktop, and I always set everything up to look like that. But let's see if it tells you what version we're running there on that system monitor. Nope, this one doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to shut it down. Let's restart it again. Did something funky with the video there, didn't it? I just want to make sure everything looks good for Fedora 14 to just start right up like it's supposed to. I wasn't paying attention. That temperature and all that stuff, I'd like to be able to see that right now. I mean, normally I would just want it to hurry up and boot up, but yeah, it's pretty darn quiet now. Even when it was running, not running on a load, it was noisy before, and I never realized. You know, I'm just not in the habit of remembering to check a GPU fan, you know, but a video card fan. So that's something I need to remember, because that's two of them. This one is an ATI, about 512 megabyte, and then the other one on Mom's was I'm pretty sure it's an NVIDIA 512 megabyte. They were bought in the same year. I built these machines that same year, so several years ago now. 5+, I don't know. And now I'm just going to shut it down now. So those, I guess that might be one of the reasons. I bet you that's one of the reasons. Not a lot of, you know. I mean, you'd have to be real determined to figure out how to find the parts, or figure out a way to modify like I did with this one. You'd have to be handy, and I'm sure a lot of people just wouldn't want to fool with it. I mean, I spent way too much time messing with this one. I spent too much time just finding and buying and ordering and then installing. It wasn't really easy. It didn't fit really well, but I did get it in there. But it was really fiddly to get it in there. The one that was a direct replacement, you know, for Mom's. And oh, fell. Have I moved things, or what have I done here? Yeah, I've got things moved. Darn it. Sorry. Somehow I got the monitor pulled forward. There we go. I did. There. I actually pulled it, I think all of this forward a bit too much the other day when I thought it would be good to pull it forward. It really didn't leave enough room for my microphone to set where I like to have it set, and so let's see. got this setting over here. I was just gonna quit, but what do we got? Trying to see what my shot is. All I can see is me up in front of it. Yeah, I have to look at my preview to see where I'm aimed. Oh, I see. I'm looking at. Guess if oh, hit my head on something that freaked me out. I just can't see that. Can't see the. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just put this stuff back where I normally keep it. Then I'll go. So plug in this phone. I saw those cables for it. I realized that I hadn't done that. Let's just do it from down here. This phone, this is a wireless phone, you know, with base unit, and the wireless part of it quit working. That is an audio cable. Where is the? Oh, I hope I didn't lose that. There it is. Thought I'd lost my RJ11. Oh, good. That's got tape on it so that it didn't get broke. I mean, that is good, but it is going to be a little bit to get. I'm going to have to cut it off there with these scissors. You can't ever. I use Scotch tape because it's just quick and easy. I don't like wasting electrical tape for stuff like this. I don't keep masking tape in the house. I guess I should keep some in here. I do this pretty often these days. Yeah, and this Scotch tape is always really hard to get off. It tears to pieces when you try to get it off of something like that. So, it can really be hard. It's been on there a while. The longer it's been on there, the worse it is for getting off. It sticks really well. Stick it in my fingers and it doesn't want to come off. Sometimes you can use a piece of it to help get stuff. It's really wrapped around there still, all the way. I think maybe I got it. I can't see so great. My eyes are I'm getting tired and my eyes are getting blurry. I guess because I'm getting really hungry. Usually they get blurry when you just ate, not when I've just ate. Anyway, this is a speakerphone, and you can't dial it, but you can answer with it. I really don't hardly ever use it, but I'll only really talk on speakerphones. And this is the old, you know, wireless phone setup that we had. And the new one, you know, if it acts up, then I keep this like this so that I can use it if the other one acts up. Like in the middle of like if the battery goes down in the middle of a call or something. Okay, so what's we got going on here? Oh, I just plugged. I didn't know that would fit. That power supply cable that I plugged in actually goes to the, it's not plugged in, and that might be a lucky thing. That actually goes to the speaker. Okay, now I've got it right. I thought something seemed weird about that. It wasn't hitting me what it was. Okay, so that speaker is going to be too high, but I don't really have another place to put it. Oh, I think this is going to have to go different. Nope, that won't work. Oh, if I turn it that way, it'll work. I think it's just in the way too much. There we go. It's really not so great. But I'm going to leave it like that for now. Okay, now the speaker. has, yeah, this, I remember they crossed. Okay, so that power goes there. Remember they were opposite of what we would think they would go. Do you remember that? Okay, that should be it. That's really going to be in the way. I'm going to put that phone on the top of that box after all. It's going to be in the way of my moving my light around, but I'll do it like that for now. Okay. That'll work. Now, that's what I did. That's what I set the, got this back in its place, put that speaker up there. I know nobody cares. Okay, so yeah, and I'll put my little kit in front of there for now. I had that somewhere else. Well, I'm afraid I'll knock it off. Let's put it over here on top of that. I don't want, I've had trouble with knocking these, one of these modems off the back and down in the abyss behind the desk, so I don't want something sitting on that. I'm afraid I'll do that. Okay, so now this power goes to that. I don't know if I got that close enough to the monitor where I can set this in its normal place or not. Kind of didn't exactly. This box will move forward and back. That should take care of it. There we go. Now, power cable that goes to this phone goes there. Now that's supposed to be somewhere right in there for me to, when I sit down. Okay. What? We're not on the right machine anymore. Oh, and we got to change off of the DVI and go to the VGA. Okay. Now, are we okay? Yes. Okay, so yeah, you get a taste of what it takes. All the fiddling and farting around that you got to do to make these videos. Okay, so my neck is worn out. My neck gets tired real easy. When I'm not feeling good, I pretty much have to have this just to hold my head up. Okay, so I've gotten the habit of using that pillow by my neck all the time. There we go. Back to shot number one. Camera number one. Okay, I guess we still have audio and everything. There we go. Yeah, okay. I see myself moving and I hear the voice, I think everything's fine. I don't think this, well, usually when that green line on the preview, it'll change colors when anything's wrong and I usually notice it. So anyway, okay, so I got my RedBlackBioStar back into operation and back to its place. And see, that one has a SFTP server on it, a SSH server, so as well as a web server. So I can turn it on and then I can copy files back and forth from it over the network. And if I need files, and don't have to plug and unplug my USB drive and all that stuff. And anyway, oh, and a remote desktop is turned on, so I can just log into it and use it from this machine anytime I want. All I have to do is turn it on. But I do have to get it all the way completely logged in first before that'll work. So I still have to do the switching to the DVI input and all that junk, the Kvm switch and all that. But that's not real hard. It's just aggravating to when you get in a lazy mood. But okay, so yeah, it's 6:22 anyway. So that was my. I actually got some work done today though. It's been a couple of days since I did anything. So I got that back. It's weird looking at that. I've been having that. I gotten used to, I guess, having that more open space. Well, a bunch of junk crammed into that space, and now it's like there's this big black thing up in my face. The old computer. I'll shove it back just a little bit. I know stuff that I usually sit there in front of it right there. Yeah, there'll still be plenty of room. That's what I kept thinking. I want it too far forward because the stuff won't fit and all that junk. And my microphone is folded up, but not. I have to keep it from like wanting to fall back down. Unfold. I have to hook it with a. I have some actually it's a piece of steel cable that's insulated with plastic that I've had a piece just long enough that I put up there for that, and it works really well because it'll just fit in the holes in those rack ear extenders for that I have up there. So, yeah, got it back. Everything's going good there. So now my plan is to go back to actually working on. I got to reform the whole malware problem and all that crap. I'm going to reformat Mom's machine, even though I didn't find any malware actually on it. Just that stupid add-on browser.com fake VirusTotal add-on that was direct. You know, that was opening up pop-up tabs and pages and to malicious sites, you know, fake Firefox updates and all that. I'm going to completely reformat that machine. Well, I mean, Fedora 28's out now. It hadn't quite, it was just coming out or hadn't quite come out when I put Fedora 27 on it. It's been months and months now. And so anyway, now I'm going to put Fedora 28 on it. That's what I have on my Lenovo i5, and I kept putting the stuff on it and playing with it, and I kind of got it messed up. It's getting some boot errors now, and I haven't fixed that yet. But virtual, it was when I put VirtualBox and maybe some other things on one day. That's when it started that. It was booting really fast and running great. Had never given any trouble or anything. And right after I put VirtualBox on there, started with those boot errors. You can't load the kernel modules that came along with VirtualBox, and then there's another one that I'm not quite sure if it's got anything to do with that or not, but there's another one that's actually what hangs it up on boots for a long time. Can't remember what it's called, what the thing was. DevMapper, something going on with DevMapper, which maps the drives and stuff, the partitions. I mean, and anyway, and I ran, it suggested some commands to run to try to fix it, and I ran them one day. I did it on video, and it didn't fix it, though. It said it was successful, too, so I don't know. If it gets to be, if I ever get, when I get back to trying to fix it, and if I can't figure it out, you know, within a day or so, then I'll probably just reformat it again. Anyway, I smell food, and I'm really getting hungry, so that makes me really hungry. Okay, yeah. Okay, that was successful. Lately, I expect, every time I do hardware work, I expect it to turn into a horrible can of worms and things that don't work and everything, but it actually worked. Last 2 times I worked on that RedBlackBioStar, it went well when it's planned. Now, let's hope that it doesn't, well, I mean, it didn't act up. I ran it a pretty long time. The only problem I can see is that maybe my heatsink was not exactly touching the processor. I mean, it was not close enough to it so that the heatsink paste was, you know, filling in, and because, well, you look in the previous video, you'll see why. But I was worried that, you know, maybe it wasn't making enough contact with the heatsink paste and everything, and that it could have possibly get overheated. But I think it's going to be all right. Now it's not making noise, so that's fantastic. I had got to where I couldn't stand running that machine, and I would just not do things because I couldn't stand listening to it. So now it's not going to be making all that noise. All right, 1 down and 2 more to go that are noisy. Well, really 3 if I count the Net Pro Max. I really am thinking seriously about getting that 4-pack of, for 14 something, you know, $15 for 4-pack of 120mm fans. And just putting those in all those machines. I got to look and make sure that it wouldn't be a nightmare trying to put those in those older machines, because some machines don't have not only do they not have the holes pre-drilled for 120mm fans, but they actually don't have enough vent space in them that it would do you any good. It would probably restrict its airflow so much that it would be not work right, you know, wouldn't do a good job. So anyway, I'm going to go and get some food and relax for the rest of this evening and go to bed. Trying to go to bed before it gets too late. I've been doing pretty good, getting up around, going around between 9 and 10, and getting up between 6:30 and 7:30 lately. So pretty good. All right, it's done, and that's my fun day there, working on the GPU fan fixing there on my RedBlackBioStar. Okay, see you later.